This video is brought to you by absolutely nothing.
But why?
First off, let's talk about why modern comics fucking suck. I bring this up because I finally finished reading the Batman Beyond The Final Joke. DC Comics has now canonized Terry McGinnis Batman, Batman Beyond. And after reading it, it was a big disappointment.
But why?
Joker's back, but he goes out like a bitch at the end. You thought he went out like a bitch in Return of the Joker? No, because at least that had a decent twist. This one, Joker just flat out just dies of a heart attack. Like seriously, really? That's how it's gonna go?
The extreme always seems to make an impression.
You don't have to pander to the kids anymore. You're pandering to teenagers who like edgy shit.
Well, they're supposed to like edgy shit, but now because of modern society, they're trying to brainwash them to be sensitive little bitches.
Back in my day, teenagers like edgy shit. Now they're just a bunch of fucking, well, snowflakes because society's brainwashing them, but I've been saying that already.
Well done!
Then I decided to watch Comic Historian and see like the whole story of everything because Terminal's in it, and Terminal's kind of an underrated character. They've only been in one episode and then only one time in the comic series. I mean, hell, I usually used to do my lipstick like it before I decided not to do lipstick because it just smears everywhere because I drink so much when I go out.
I mean, come on!
The Batman Beyond cartoon was that they didn't really milk the member berries. They would show them a little bit. They were subtle about it. Hell, dude, the whole thing about the Jokers is dumb because the reason why Joker wants to come back and goes on a rampage and does his final joke is because he doesn't like how the Jokers are using his name. Death to posers. It's a meta message, we'll say, that comic writers don't like gatekeepers. They don't like old school fans. They want the new fans because pro-pose.
Shut up and get to the point!
He goes out like a bitch too because Joker beats him to death.
What the fuck?
He's a one-off villain, so it makes sense.
Oh, cool, here's Karari. Oh, no, wait. It's to show what happened to Damian Wayne.
Who cares?
Neo Gotham is nicer and cleaner than Metropolis, which is technically a callback to Dark Knight Returns.
What?
Off-screen, fucking Mary McGinnis dies, and now Matt McGinnis is now Robin.
What the fuck?
What happened to Nightwing? He's now the mayor of Bloodhaven.
Nice.
Nightwing's daughter is now the new Batgirl, and that's showing a lot of girl power shit. You see what's going on here? They focus more on member berries and like girl boss.
Bullshit. 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 Bullshit.
Shit. So I know the comic came out in like 2016 and it's still somewhat ongoing, but there's a reason why your comics fail and you have to always reboot it every like couple of years because you're fucking hiring these assholes who don't know the source material. And no, that's why modern comics suck.
What did you say, dickhead?
I'll repeat myself.
You're hiring these posers who have an agenda, look at this job as just a stepping stone, and they'll be paid a little extra to vet their own characters because they're douchebags. No wonder everybody's going to fucking manga.
Oh, snap.
You just talked.
Like if you go to Barnes & Noble, right, the graphic novel section is shrinking, and almost every graphic novel is slowly but surely getting a discount, which worked out for me because I don't have to pay full price. Meanwhile, manga is like growing and growing, and the reason why is because the people who are writing manga grew up with manga and like manga. Meanwhile, people who work for American Western comics are assholes who don't deserve this job. Give me a job. But no, it won't give me a job because I don't agree with you blindly because I ain't no fucking woke little bitch who went to college, and also because I'm too old.
Go fuck yourself.
And this just double confirms why I don't read new comics, and I definitely don't read stuff from the big two.
Come on!
Another comic that came out the same year which I've done a review on is Death's Head. I'm all like, yes, Death's Head, he's back, fuck yeah. And Death's Head's a character that, like, let's put it this way, there's so much you can do with him, because this is a character who, even though he's a Marvel character, started off as a fucking Transformers character, and then the next place he goes to is Doctor Who. Yeah, Transformers, Doctor Who, then Marvel. You have a character who's been everywhere, basically. And since Disney owns Star Wars, you could have had him jump in the Star Wars universe.
Everybody got that?
I hate to see what happened to Dark Horse. Their main bread and butter is manga, so that saves their asses. And they did Umbrella Academy, but look what happened to that with Netflix. They did Resident Alien, and there's like a big difference between the show and the fucking comic series there. So yeah, technically Dark Horse is kind of more open to do what they want to do, but a lot of the stuff is done by Universal, and Universal obviously does what they want. So there's that.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
As for old nostalgia shit, speaking of which, is it me or is Freejack and Demolition Man in the same timeline? Because think about it, right? Let's start with Freejack. It's the very beginnings, 1991.
Even though the movie came out in 92, but it's one of those late edition green lights, we'll say.
Alex Furlong dies in a car accident, travels to the distant future of 2009.
I know, right? Apparently time travel works in 2009.
The movie's kind of like the similar plot to that one Ryan Reynolds movie that came out way before. And And the point I'm trying to make here is it goes from 1991 to 2009, right? 2009, it's total urban decay. It's total richer, poorer type of shit. Then you look at Demolition Man. The very beginning is 1996, so the beginning of social decay, right? And then apparently society is back to normal in 2010, 1 year after Freejack takes place. And then fast forward to 2032, and that's the timeline of San Angeles and how everything's gotten politically correct. Oh yeah, and another movie that technically is in that timeline as well is Split Second. That takes place in 2008, also during social decay. Basically, if you think about it, timeline goes like this. 1991, with the events of Alex Furlong, his body gets zapped into 2009. And then in 1996, society's really decaying with Simon Phoenix doing his terroristic things, and then fucked up shit happened in New York. Then after that, the events of Freejack. Then we fast forward to society like changing suddenly in 2010 with a great quake happens and all the other. Then we fast forward to 2032 and society's all like that on the West Coast. East Coast is probably worse. And that's what I think is the timeline for that. And the reason why I think that is because they're all Warner Brothers.
Get on with
Running Man. I haven't watched that movie in ages. And yeah, it's kind of dated because it takes place in the distant future of 2017. And how television runs things. Basically, it kind of borrowed a little bit from like Death Race, but instead of being a death race, it's a game show. And how television's rot your brain message. So of course it's kind of dated with that. But it is very true what's going on now, especially with the whole deep fake scene and just being fake news and, you know, poverty being very high and the rich getting richer and all that shit, you know, kind of like now. So they got that right. Mick Fleetwood is in it. He plays like the leader of the revolution at the end of the movie, spoiler. And one of his soldiers was Dweezil Zappa, played by Dweezil Zappa. So that was really cool. You know, the stalkers, the ones who were hunting down the runners in the movie are pretty memorable. I mean, the funniest one is Dynamo, who apparently that was his last movie. Which is ironic that he's the only stalker who doesn't die in the movie, and in real life he actually dies right after the movie was shot. So yeah, Running Man's pretty great. I recommend watching it. It's on YouTube. Another YouTube movie I'm watching. All right, well, I just finished watching, other than Snatch, and Snatch is awesome. I definitely want to watch Rock and Roller later. Is fucking Innerspace. That movie totally inspired a lot of Seth MacFarlane things. I used to watch that a lot as a kid. I mean, it's directed by Joe Dante, so it has that Gremlins vibe to it. Plus, it's Warner Brothers. You can watch it also on HBO Max in case you don't want to watch it from commercials if you don't have a YouTube premium account like I do. It's my second favorite Martin Short role. My favorite, obviously, is Three Amigos. It's definitely my favorite Dennis Quaid role. I mean, the guy's like alpha douche, drunk, badass. And just their chemistry, even though they never even hang out face to face because, you know, he's inside him, you know, shrunk into a little thing. It's basically Fantastic Voyage for the 80s, but I love that movie. I mean, it's cheesy, and you can totally tell that Seth MacFarlane took notes on that movie. This is obviously where Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan met, and you know the whole thing. There was sequel baiting there, and there was never a sequel.
Come on, Hollywood. You know you want to make a long legacy sequel of that. You could easily done it, especially when, like, come on, there's Jack Quaid. He can easily be, hell, he can even go by Jack because they named him after, you know, Jack Hutter, you know? You could have done all that. There's so many things you could have done with a sequel. You could be, you know, Innerspace, you could have the sequel, you know, there's so, I know, what can you do with a sequel to Innerspace? Well, yeah, it would suck if you did that, huh? I mean, like, Hollywood's so out of ideas. I mean, there's so many legacy sequels.
And speaking of, I'll say, franchises that haven't been utilized, I know that James Rolfe brought it up.
You know there's 14 fucking Oz books?
14, and all you've done is just a remake of Wizard of Oz and a prequel we never asked for. I liked prequel. I liked Oz Great and Powerful. It was basically Army of Darkness set in Oz, and it was very Sam Raimi. And hell, dude, fucking Mila Kunitz's Wicked Witch of the West gave me a witch fetish for a while. I mean, that's me. A girl wearing a witch hat and says, yeah, I'll fuck you. Come on! The Wiz is just basically Wizard of Oz with black people. The actual, you know, play, not the movie. The movie aesthetically did something different with it, a little. I mean, the movie sucked, but at least you made it look like ghetto Wizard of Oz rather than just black Wizard of Oz. You gave it that whole ghetto aesthetic, which I thought was kind of cool.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
There are so much things you can do with it. Is the Baum fucking estate being that douchey about it? And I said, all you can have is that? Is that what's really going on? Is because Return to Oz didn't do well back in the day? You know that was like over 30 years ago, going on 40 years, right? Came out in 85. That's 35 fucking years ago. Probably longer.
I've made a huge mistake.
And you know it's owned by Disney.
What?
But yeah, enough about that shit. My final thing I'm gonna bring up is I recently watched Joe Blow's What the Fuck Happened to George Lucas, and
So many wrong things in this video. First off, Empire Strikes Back came out in 1980, not 1981. Raiders came out that year. Next, Last Crusade was the second biggest grossing movie in 1989. Batman was number 1. And finally, the reason why people liked the prequel trilogy was that they're masterpieces compared to the Disney sequels. You don't bring that up because you shills said The Last Jedi was the best. Hashtag you uncultured swine.
if you're gonna shill, at least get the facts right. I know there's no real difference between 1980 and 1981, but yeah, technically there is. Especially because Raiders of the Lost Ark came out in 81 and Empire Strikes Back came out in 80. There's like a big difference because, like, you know, you're trying to tell me George Lucas did 2 movies at the same time. I know Spielberg did in 93 with Schindler's List and Jurassic Park, which happy anniversary to both of you on that one. But other than that, fuck it. But in my conclusion, first off, yes, 1987 was a good year for movies. Year of the Rabbit represent. 1999 was a good year for movies. I mean, we had the beginning of the prequel trilogy, which, yeah, it sucked. I mean, all in all, later on, it sucked, but it kicked off the new Star Wars trilogy, and that was, on paper, a good idea. The Mummy was awesome, and kicked off the Matrix, trilogy, which I find overrated, but you fuckers like it. And Fight Club. Fight Club was a good movie, too. That, this is Anti-Logic, his theory about, that it's all in his head. Fuck you. I mean, I don't need to go into the Phantom Menace. The worst of them all. I can't decide who I hate more, really. Geeks and Gamers or that Umbrella guy. Because that Umbrella guy, dude, I get it. You jerk off to fucking Amber Heard or anything about her. That's all you talk about. You're worse than everybody. Like, go fuck yourselves. And get a life. Oh, back to Year of the Rabbit. 2011. Well, you had that Conan remake on Paperworks, and you also had Immortals, which on Paperworks. Actually, the best way, and Your Highness, which to me was good. Everybody else thinks it's dumb. I thought they were good movies because you guys are lame. I mean, you're the same people back in 2013 talk shit on fucking Adam Sandler for making Grown Ups 2, but yet praise Seth Rogen's Neighbors, which is the same fucking movie, you know? And double standards, but enough about it. Basically, if you took Jason Momoa's Conan and took the villain, the Mickey Rourke character, King Hyperion from Immortals, you have a perfect movie. Because you have like the epic scope of fantasy with the awesome protagonist and the awesome antagonist, and that's your movie. Kind of like with Stone Cold. Stone Cold is an awesome fucking movie. It's brain dead stupid, but the villains are awesome. Those evil bikers are awesome. You know, fucking Chains, played by Lance Hendrickson, awesome. Fucking Ice, played by fucking William motherfucking Forsythe, awesome. If you take the, and oh yeah, and the chick, dude, Nancy, the love interest, awesome. And you have Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man as the heroes. You have your perfect movie, perfect biker movie, you know? But, you know, we can't have everything we want. And people want to talk shit, but what made Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man a good movie, an awesome movie in my opinion, even though the movie bombed and both those movies bombed, is that the chemistry between Mickey Rourke and Don Johnson's priceless. The villain sucked. I mean, come on, it's Tom Sizemore, rest in peace, and his minions played by, oh god, the one Baldwin brother we always forget, wearing like bulletproof like trench coats. That was dumb. Like really dumb. So if you took, yeah, the rest of my case. And I recently watched a video by Sarah Z, aka Mary Sue Ryder, about Idiocracy, and she needs to
Shut the fuck up!
First off, if you're a Mary Sue Ryder, you have no integrity and she doesn't deserve a following. And that dumb bitch fucking is trying to bitch about how Idiocracy promotes eugenics. No, it does not promote eugenics. The whole message is that the dumb breed more than the smart. But your head's so lodged up your ass that you didn't see it because blah, 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 wokeness.
For all that shit you talk about religion, you sure ask for blind devotion just like religion.
Just saying. But yeah, that's all I gotta say on her.
She's a dumb cunt and needs to be smacked around like a fucking dumb bitch that she is, because it's kind of obvious that your attention span's either for less than 30 seconds or 8 hours.
What the fuck?
Split Second, starring Rutger Hauer.
He can hear its heartbeat.
I haven't watched that movie ages, and it has aged badly. For one, it came out in 1992, and it takes place in the cyberpunk so-called future of 2008.
I made a huge, tiny mistake.
Global warming has really just fucked up our planet to the point where everything's flooded, and an American cop in England.
There's something running around loose in this city, ripping the hearts out of people and eating them.
Maybe he eats him for breakfast.
What I liked about the creature, it kind of looks like a combination of Venom and Judge Death.
It gives no warning.
You ready to die?
But one thing's for certain.
We gotta get bigger guns.
Plot holes in it.
Now, it's really pissing him off.
Faster!
Harley Stone is such a dick. Seriously, he picks on everyone, especially his partner.
I work alone.
Makes two.
Paranoid people with guns are a menace to society.
It's basically Sledgehammer played straight.
Trust me, I know what I'm doing.
I mean, this is how much of a dick he is. His character wants revenge on his partner's death. But mind you, he was banging his partner's wife before his partner got killed. And then he left the bitch. Then she comes back. And also another funny thing is we get to see Kim Cattrall's boobs. Yeah, it's 30-something-year-old Kim Cattrall, as opposed to like...
I want to cry, but I'm so high that I can't.
Let's face it, all right? The only place different social types can genuinely get along with each other is in...
I think the hottest she's ever been, though, was in Porkys. And speaking of Porkys, I think it's funny how they'll bitch about movies like American Pie is so problematic.
Shut the fuck up!
And it's like, dude, I hate to see what happens if you watch Porkys. Remember Porkys?
Oh, fucking God.
I finally watched Porkys.
American Pie look like whipped cream with no cherry on top.
Well, me and Layla just recently watched the entire Porkys trilogy. And here's what we had to say.
So, I like the first one all the way through.
Yeah, me, I thought it was okay.
That's the first movie in a good second that's gotten me to, like, laugh out loud, though.
Yeah.
Shower scene in Tim Porky or that wolf scene in the gym?
When it comes to the sequels...
The sequel sucks, but it was the third act that made it.
They both were pretty cool. I was wondering why that,
Why it was called Porky, but Porky wasn't in the fucking movie.
It's because the actor declined to be in it because he'd have to have a nude scene because he would have been in the Klan, which means it would have a totally different, like, story. The third one would probably not exist.
No, yeah, no, I see it.
Who's your favorite character?
Meat.
Meat is your favorite?
Meat.
To the point where you actually made a GIF.
I did.
And why do you like Meat so much, other than he's a big, dumb idiot?
He's big and he's dumb.
It reminds you of Bobby Carnival.
Yeah.
I am Blossom. Why do they call you Meat?
Yeah, big guy. Oh, tree people.
Yeah, you like big, dumb tree people.
I like tree people.
My favorite character was Wendy, especially the second one in the third act when she acts like a dumb ditz.
Bobby. Baby.
Oh my God.
You can watch it on Tubi. All of them.
Yeah, I've watched some of it. It's not bad. I mean, like, it's free, so you can't complain.
It's free, limited commercials, and the commercials are quieter than the fucking content, unlike the other thing.
More honest about it, like, hey, we're free, we got ads, but what do you expect? Like what I think you were saying about what? Hulu?
Uh-huh.
Where they got their pay levels, but
no, Peacock.
Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, hey, pay. Well, you still get ads, but you're paying, like, I can get that on regular TV for free.
Yeah.
It's off.
Yeah. You get unlocked content. Yeah, but you get commercials. Fuck that.
I'm just too lazy to get caught up in, like, well, I gotta remember to cancel it after I watch that one show before they charge me again.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get Tubi. A lot of stuff that's on Peacock, like Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers and shit, all on Tubi.
I'm also the old school mind of everything I love. I've already got on DVD and Blu-ray.
I give it like a 6.
All right, for the first movie.
For the trilogy.
Okay, for the trilogy, you give it a 6.
As a whole, I give it.
All right, but for the first movie itself.
Third movie, 7.
7. All right, there you go. Peace out.